Right now, we're in the middle of May of 2024, and we're kind of in a dead area in terms of new games that have come out. I've been trying to find something to play off screen. With that, I came upon vrising. This game came out 2 years ago, I believe, as a early access game on Steam. They recently just had their 1.0 release this week and is now fully out. And I gotta say, this game has caught me by surprise. I am having a really good time playing this game. It is a survival, crafting, vampire game. There's other adjectives I could not think of, but they have it. Yeah, so this game is kind of insane, honestly. There is a lot that you can do in this game that that surprised me. One, there's the combat and the camera angle. It reminds me a little bit of like Diablo, that ARPG type of gameplay. But it also has crafting and base building or house building or castle building in this case. And there's like a whole tree that you can follow regarding to... I believe this is new, but there's no levels in this game. Your strength and your power is based off of your gear score. And I don't think they had this originally. This may be something new that came out with 1.0 or somewhat close to it. Is they have acts now. Depending on your gear score, there are bosses in the world that you can go and take care of. And each boss gives you either a new skill point or new crafting materials or new crafting mats or blueprints, designs, in order to proceed with the crafting portion of the game, as well as getting your character stronger. And as you can see, they have a lot. Like, I am currently 40. Yeah, my gear score is 40. And I'm just now taking care of like 35, 37. We're about to be done with Act 1. We're about to start Act 2. And you can see there's many bosses that you can do. And this goes up pretty high. Like, it goes up to 90. But yeah, there is like a linear path that you can go regarding just... if you just want to try to get as powerful as possible, you can do that. You do have to craft in this game in order to achieve certain strengths and stuff like that, because you do need to have like a castle or something, because there is a day and night cycle in this game, and you're a vampire, so during the day you take damage. During nighttime, that's when you go out and do everything. You can still do stuff during the day, but you will take damage, and you have to rely on the shade of trees and walls and things of that nature in order to get things done and survive. One of the things too I really liked about this game is just how smooth everything like is. One of the things I worry about when I play survival games like this is how you get from point A to point B, how challenging that can be depending on how the game holds your hand or not, if that makes sense. So in this case, they gave you like a tutorial, like story missions that you can do, and if you follow those, it basically puts you on the right path and makes sure you're going in the right direction. And the way the map is located, the map is basically, there's points of interest that are already highlighted that tell you where resources are. So if you're needing a certain resource, you have to explore to reveal it, but once you explore a region, you can get to these points of interest and you can just read the resources and find the resources that you need in order to craft the item that you're working on. It's very helpful, and it makes the progression smooth so that you can get stronger faster, but it doesn't mean that the game is easy. There are areas that you think are your level and they're not. The way that I've noticed so far regarding this map, like, this map is huge. There's a whole bunch of different regions, and the starting out area is Farbane Woods. So like, you literally can choose from down here or here is where I was told to go anyway. And Farbane Woods is your starting zones. But once you get into like here, the middle area, it is challenging. Like, the enemies do different attacks. The way that the bosses interact and do their attacks are very in-depth, and you actually have to strategize against certain bosses depending on what your play style is. And that brings me to one of the cool things about this game. It really ties into the whole vampire blood system that they have in this game. Your health, as you can see right here, this ball of blood right here, or this circle of blood, is called the blood pool. And over time, it will diminish unless you drink the blood out of humans or beasts or creatures or certain characters or whatever. It's pretty much humans, enemy types, monsters. And depending on whatever type of enemy you drink the blood of, you take on their attributes and basically take on their class. One thing that's really cool about this game as well is how in-depth the castle building in this game is. First off, I'm on a PvE server. There's a PvP server, a PvE server, and then you can play with the groups up to 4 people. And then you can work together. You can play solo if you want, or you can do like your own realm because it's all server based. You are given, there's many plots of land. You see all these red plots of lands. These are lands taken over by other players in the game, and they've made their own castle and they're building it, and then they're starting to expand and do basically everything I mentioned before. In PvP servers, you can attack their castles and try to steal their stuff, or in PvE servers, you have to work together alongside them and take on the environment content that this game has, like the bosses and stuff like that, and you're not having to worry about PvP. I don't know what the story is with this game is. You play as a vampire, you take on monsters, and you try to get stronger as a vampire. That's basically it. I don't know if there's a main story. Maybe Dracula. I don't know. I kind of just went over that. If you are just wanting to spend a couple hours, or if you have friends, this is a really good game. I highly recommend it to anybody who's into these types of games. Like if you played Valheim or ARPG Diablo style games, but you also like the survival type games like Minecraft and things of that nature, this is a really good combination. Like there's like a linear progression regarding like combat. That's the thing too, is you start off with bone weapons, and then you proceed into copper weapons, and then there's iron weapons, and then there's probably silver weapons, and then there's probably gold weapons, and then there's taupe. Like there's a linear progression in terms of that, and depending on the tier weapon you get different skill points. As you can see, I only have copper weapons right now. They're considered level 12. I have a left click, a Q attack, and then there's one hidden that I have to get a higher quality weapon to have it unlocked. But then there's all these skills, and with the skills, there's spell books, and you have 6 different routes that you can go for skills depending on what you want to do. You got blood, you got chaos, you got unholy, illusion, frost, and storm. And you get these skill points by taking on the bosses, and they give you the points in order to do that. And the bosses are tied to these different types of magics. And you start off with blood magic since you are a vampire, so that is what you start off with. Depending on the server you go into, they could do a wipe, or it'll be continuous. And the way this game is that, say you decided like you're going to be gone for like a month, or you want to take a break. Well, because this game has restricted plots of land that you can own, if you play this game and you only got your castle to level 1 or 2, which right now mine is a level 2 castle, the castle is powered by blood. It consumes blood. And as you can see here, this castle is powered for 4 days, 5 hours, 14 minutes, and 48 seconds. Once that goes away, it starts to decay, and once it's fully decayed, then this land is now available for somebody else to take. So it makes it so that the world is constantly changing depending on the players and what they're doing, which is cool. You're not restricted to having to rely on players to be locked in on a server. They can if they want to go away and do something else, and it's not going to harm the player base moving forward, just because so-and-so who was playing the game a month ago and decides to come back still has his castle that he hasn't kept running for 30 days, which is cool. I like that feature a lot. It makes you have to keep playing if you are wanting to still play the game. You can't just come back later and then expect everything to be the same. There's mounts in this game. The castle building can be very in-depth. You can actually like make a castle with multiple floors. The way the crafting in this game is really cool as well. You have to make rooms inside of your castle if you want. It is optional, but is probably highly recommended that if you are going to be working with wood and things of that nature, that you put it in its own room and then put a floor that ties with woodworking that gives you buffs to make things operate faster. It's the same with all the other areas as well. Alchemy. There's alchemy floors that buff your alchemy stations. There's forge floors that buff your forge stations. Everything is tied together to help buff your castle, and as you get higher levels, you start to unlock more things. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video to show you guys what I have been playing off screen, and kind of trying to, it's like my bridge between major releases, really. It's not really a game I wanted to make much content on. I do want to just showcase it here just to let you guys know what I've been playing. And yeah, it's a really good game. I highly recommend it. Let me know down below if you guys have been playing vrising, what you think about it, what you've been doing, what you enjoy most about it, what you don't like about it. Let's talk about this game. This game is one of the surprises that I recently came across in 2024. Even though it came out in 2022 early access, it fully released in 2024. But yeah, that's it. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys later. Take care. Peace.